we're gonna go get to calling. For several years now, I've been working together with a good friend of mine, Kirby Taylor, to come up with a perfect call that would suit all of my needs as a predator caller. Some of the features that I was wanting in a predator call are a mouthpiece that would create less fatigue in my mouth, a bell or call body that would specifically shaped to fit my hand, an air channel that would slope with the contour of the mouthpiece so that more precise volume control could be achieved. I barely push any air through this call, and I want to make the slightest, softest distress cries possible. Ah, the Ruffidawg JR. I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite calls right here. This is kind of my go-to call, and the reason being, it's a moderate volume call that creates just fantastic cottontail distress cries. It's a great call for all-around predator calling, and it's one of my favorites, I have to say. With that said, I'm going to show you how I'm making some of these sounds. Some of the sounds I'm going to start off with, I just want to show you that you can make a lot of other sounds with an open reed call. I'm going to start off with a cow elk mew. You're in the Rocky Mountains of Wyoming and you're on a big elk hunt and you want to try to call in a big old bull elk. Here's a cow elk mew. Simple as that. Now let's start out with some of the distress cries that I typically like to use with this call. I'm going to use my lips, push down on the very tip of the reed, and I'm going to just huff air through. Pushing air through, I'm going to create a mouse squeak. Just lightly blowing that air through. Very simple to do. How about a bird distress, a woodpecker distress? I'm just going to flicker my tongue. Simple as that. I'm not letting my tongue hit the reed, I'm just letting it vibrate back behind the reed and blowing air through at the same time. Now we're going to move up the reed and we're going to make some of those cottontail distress cries that I was telling you about. Again, this is a medium volume call. It's a great all-around call. It's not too loud, it's not too soft. It's great for calling in predators. I'm going to cup the bell, D-shaped bell with my hand. I'm going to go up about a quarter to a third of the way up on the reed, and I'm going to clamp down with my lips, and I'm just going to say wah. I'm going to mix that in with some hand movement and stronger pushes of air to create a more distressful wail. I don't know if there's any right or wrong way to do this. The thing about calling predators is that everybody's going to sound unique and different. Everybody's going to have their own style of calling. I've probably made 10, 20,000 stands in my life, so I'm very comfortable blowing a call, and it always seems like I go back to calling the exact same way every time. I try to mix it up, but when you find a sound that works well for you, you typically are going to keep using that sound because it works. So with all that said, why don't we go on a stand and let's go call a coyote with the Ruffidawg JR. I smell him over the hill. Yep, there's two of them. We've got one coming out across the wheat field. He's just standing there. Here he comes. Here he comes. We just lost him. He's in this CRP grass. Here he comes. Got him. That's not even a 20-yard coyote. That coyote come from clear over there in the wheat stubble. You know, when we come in here, this is just a nice quarter of CRP grass. A lot of times coyotes, they hunt in this CRP grass for rabbits, pheasants, mice. It's a great bedding area for them because there's a lot of cover here. And wouldn't you know it, the coyote didn't come from here. We were calling this little draw here in the CRP. It's away from the road. It's back in here in the middle of the section. And the coyote come from clear over there in the wheat stubble. Pretty looking coyote. Let's go take a look at it. Nice coyote. Real pretty coyote. Nice white belly. Whew! That coyote came from clear over there in that wheat field. Came hard the whole time. Come to this CRP, and the great thing is, we're in walk-in hunting, so anybody can hunt this stuff. We're just calling this CRP, and it come out of the wheat stubble over there, worked his way all the way here, and went out in the CRP where our wind's going this way, and he was trying to, I think he was just confused, didn't know where our sound was, and couldn't pinpoint us, and shotgun coyote, just tucked ourselves into these tumbleweeds and made a great shot on this coyote at about 25-30 yards. We better get to calling.